It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Matt Mifty, Oakland Press here. You've been with Roush for, it's a rarity in NASCAR nowadays with everybody switching teams every few years. I remember you had your first truck race over 10 years ago with Roush down in Disney World. Now it's over a decade later. So what is it about Roush that has made you stay? And he's, got a lot of ties in this area, obviously, so it's a big race for him. What's so good about Roush that you're pretty much going to spend your whole career there, as far as I can see?
Yeah, it's there's the old saying, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, and you think that, and then when you really do your hard research and kind of investigating on is it greener on the other side of the fence, a lot of times there's pluses and minuses to everything. Competition-wise, maybe this team might be a little bit better. Marketing-wise, stability-wise, infrastructure-wise, may not quite be as big as our organization. So, there's pros and cons everywhere. And when my contract has been up the last two times, I've researched, what my competition looks like. And, I'm very thankful to have a bunch of offers from other team owners. I felt like with where the 16 car was 7th in points at that time. Oh, sorry.
You had next.
Okay. With where I was, in the 16 car, 7th in points at that time, I didn't feel like it was a smart move for me to get out of that seat and leave that car and go somewhere else and start with a car. Typically, most of the opportunities were with no points. A lot of them were. And that doesn't necessarily scare me because I feel like the cars would be fast enough, competitive enough to qualify, but there's always that what if. What if the crew chief, the team, isn't perfect? We've seen startup teams really, really struggle. In fact, one of the most recent ones that comes to mind is the 11 car with Gibbs. That car struggled desperately. They switched crew chiefs, they switched some things around, they switched drivers, and then they finally got some chemistry going. With where I'm at in my career, I didn't feel like I wanted to take that opportunity or take that chance.
Is there something about Jack that makes it organization?
Well, his commitment to the performance end of the business, definitely keeps me there. And they're committed to giving us quality and good cars and engines and all that, and that's important. Sure, that's certainly important.
Anything else for Greg?
Me, please.
Go ahead, Marty.
I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked these other guys.
Okay.
How familiar are you with the term hypermiling?
I was standing there leaning against the wall thinking about that. I have not heard of that yet. But I feel like I do a form of that, I guess, when I'm driving my street car, because I hate to give those guys any more of my money than everybody else in this room to the third world countries or wherever has all the oil. I don't know where it's at. I'm still trying to learn all that. But it's not a term I'm familiar with, and Jimmy Johnson said it right, 100%. The crew chief will tell you 20 laps into the run, we need to save some gas. We got 10 laps to go. I could have been saving some gas if you told me, 50 miles ago when I was driving 100 miles an hour. Now the next gas station's up there, and you want me to save all of a sudden. So that's kind of funny. That's the stereotype. Save gas.
Go ahead, Don.
Greg, and I hope you hadn't already been asked this. I'm doing something here on the rumor mill and how things get kicked around and what you read and how much of it is funny, how much of it kind of gets on your nerves, and what's your best rumor mill story?
Well, a lot of times it's surprising. Some of the stuff has a small bit of truth to it, and then some of it I think is people fantasizing about what somebody might do or dreaming about what they might do, and a bunch of people said that I was a perfect candidate for the 20. I should drive the 20. Tony's leaving. He had just announced. Biffle would fit over there perfect. And after a month or so of that I finally ended up talking to the Gibbs organization, or crossed paths with, JD and said, hey, what, and we got to talking about, what their organization had going, and so I think some of the times possibly the rumor mill provokes, some of that stuff to happen, because some people don't think, it could happen or it's not true or whatever. So, and then some of it has some truth to it as well, where the information comes from. So, but I think that, I think that was probably, some of those rumors were probably the far-fetched, that I was a lock in the 20. I heard that I was driving the car for sure, had already signed a deal. I'd heard a lot of things, before I'd even received a phone call or even talked to them about it, what they were doing with that car. So there's been a lot of them. Thank goodness they've all been good, I guess, or positive. So.
Anything else for Greg before he does practices? We've got one question up here.
Do they make you think when you read those?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, certainly it does. It makes you think about it, and like I said, sometimes it, sometimes it makes you go investigate or research or, what if, so sometimes it does that.
Anything else?
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Greg.